Anyways, guys, what's going on? Wanted to talk to you guys today about E3. I'm sure we all watched the press conferences. I know I watched both of them. Yeah, Dave, I watched both of them, even Xbox. I sat through that boring ass lecture about TV and whatnot, and I just come to the conclusion what's going on? Like, what is going through Microsoft's head? I mean, are they just trying to literally throw away customers with their used game policy? And whether or not you can use used games is fine. I know that there is going to be a tariff you must pay to use that online game, though, Dave. So that's one thing that I can't see myself being able to make that sacrifice, dude. I understand next generation is probably going to be all digital, but the fact of the matter is, right now, I'm still in the mentality of fuck, I can't afford a $60 game. Let me trade in some of my old games that I don't play in GameStop, so I have to pay 40, 35. You know, that option is basically taken away from you with the new Xbox. But other things about Xbox though that impressed me a little bit was that game Rise. Dude, that whatever graphics engine that is, it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, I just all the cinematics, the fighting style, everything looked great. I'm not so sure if I would want like that total slow motion fighting the whole time, but you know, for what it is, for what I've from what I've seen so far, it looks absolutely stunning. So I want to give Rise its credit. I want to give the fact that Xbox was able to get Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15. I'll give y'all that. Y'all could have that. I mean, that's not my type of game genre anyways, but for you RPG freaks out there, I mean, obviously that's a plus for you. Um what else did Xbox have? I'm looking up aside from all the media features, Halo 5 obviously. I'm not a big fan in sequels. A big fan of sequels. If I have to spend $500, which pricing is something I'll get to, but if I have to spend $500 on a console, I would at least like a new IP. I'm sure that there are new IPs being generated, but I'd rather see it now. Like, why is there another Halo? Halo 3 was perfect. The multiplayer was perfect. There really wasn't much change that was needed. I mean, why couldn't they just keep Halo what Halo was? But unfortunately, 5 is out. I'm sure 6 will be around the corner. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they just dropped 4, not more than a year ago, if I'm correct. So it just seems that Microsoft is still trying to kind of bank in on the success of their current franchises. I wouldn't be surprised if down the line a Gears title shows up for Xbox One. Um, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if another Fable comes around. But as for what Microsoft's offering, they're offering you a product that pretty much can break the walls down of any media platform you want, anything you can think of in terms of the media online world you can have on the Xbox One. And that's where I'll give it its props. I think it is very cool for people who are media centric, who love watching movies, TV shows. They have a device in which they can find any of their TV shows in HD and stream it. Whether it's stream, download, you can view it through your Xbox One. And I think that is one area. I'm guessing that's just like the PC kind of. That's that PC influence on Microsoft, ladies and gentlemen. There's just, you kind of have to just accept that this is a company that builds software. So obviously, software that is very media heavy. So, that's definitely that you can see you can see. You guys get what I'm saying. You can see the PC influence there. Thought the Xbox One controller was solid. The D-pad looked a little bit better, although it still seems to be all one kind of device, one button, one central button instead of Sony's individual four. But they definitely looked like they made an improvement upon that. Joysticks look nice. Some IGN editor actually said it was the best controller he's ever put in his hands. So, that looks good. Obviously, I haven't held it for myself, but I'm kind of liking. I mean, I like what I hear. I did like the Xbox 360 controller. It was the superior shooter controller. There's no way that you can say otherwise. I'll say that Sony made a good attempt for the first time with PS2 going to PS3 and not still yet to have triggers on their controllers. Their first attempt at it was great. But overall, I like Xbox One controller actually a lot from first impression. I still need to hold both of them, but Microsoft did a great job on that. Call of Duty Ghosts looks okay. Just another Call of Duty game. Not too keen on that. Dead Rising 3, another sequel, but I mean, maybe they can improve and make Dead Rising 3 sick. What else? Forza Motorsport, that was revealed. Like I said, Metal Gear Solid 5, that honestly was something that I found very strange. For four titles, Sony's held exclusive rights, and now Metal Gear Solid 5. Not only does Xbox get the game but they had the video. They had the video at their press conference. Sony didn't even have Metal Gear Solid 5, and that's something that threw me off. I was very surprised about, but maybe that's a leg up for Sony or for Microsoft. Quantum Break looks sweet. Project Spark. These are all new IPs that they're talking about. So overall, Xbox One, I feel like it did a great job, but the lack of just the whole. For me personally, as a gamer, you're getting a gamer's opinion and perspective. It wasn't enough in terms of games for me. I wanted to see something more. They didn't really go into Xbox Live. They didn't say any new features. They just kind of let it go on that. But I think I want that's just how it is. But as for Sony, look, I think they did a great job. Okay, you're talking about a company here who, when the PS3 was being unveiled, they took the Microsoft approach. Oh, Blu-ray, all that this console can do, the cell structure, its power, the graphics, everything is possible. HD was still in its infancy back then, so I could see why they wanted to gear it more towards, visual performance. But, clearly Sony was like, look, we fucked up E3 back when the PlayStation 3 was out. We need to really hit home with the gamers out there who want to kind of they want to play games. They don't want to. Yeah, sure, Netflix is important to people. I don't know if Hulu is, but I know Netflix is. A couple apps are important, but generally I want to play kick-ass games, and if that's the kind of person that you are, then that Sony blew minds at their E3 press conference. It was just crazy. I mean, Watch Dogs, sure, it's multi-platform, but still, they said that there are going to be some PlayStation exclusive content. I'm not too big on that. As long as the game's out, that's fine. But still, they showed Watch Dogs, they showed Assassin's Creed 4, they showed Killzone Shadowfall. They showed a bunch of independent games, and I gotta tell you, a lot of those independent games look sick. And it's just Sony. It's such open market. It's freedom with Sony. They want to open up to indie game production studios. They want to still let you use games. They want to let you be able to trade it in. You own that disc when you buy it. With Microsoft, you have a license to use a product, not to own it. With PlayStation, when you buy that disc, you own that disc. So fair use copyright laws will, of course, apply, but generally, you can do what you want with that disc. And a small factor, but very amazing, is The PlayStation 4, like the PlayStation 3, will be region free again. So, for those enthusiasts who want to go to Japan or wherever in the world, you buy a Sony disc over a PlayStation disc in those countries, it will work on your American PlayStation 4. So, that's huge. The controller looks great. It looks like just basically like a DualShock 3 on roids, in my honest opinion. I'm looking forward to see what the touchpad has to offer in games. But generally, the controller looks solid. Looks like it'll have a built-in battery again. Not sure about Xbox, but I think so. You would think this time around they would put it in there, so, But just generally what PlayStation offered, their PlayStation Plus, yes, you have to pay for online. It's going to be about $5 a month. But come on, dude, they're offering you a free game every year. How can you say no to that? How can you say no to a free game? Sure, it might be from 2008, but they'll save you $4 or $5 at GameStop, free. You're actually getting free stuff with PlayStation. Oh, Xbox's thing is so cool, really? We'll give you Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3? Wow, yeah, that's really going to make me buy an Xbox One and done, sure. No. I already own Halo 3. Shit on dudes and multiplayer. Dave, you know that. And I honestly, Dave, you already beat Assassin's Creed 2. That's old news now. We're getting on Assassin's Creed Black Flag, dude. Why are you trying to put me on Assassin's Creed 2? So, that's just my opinion about E3. I'm not even going to talk about Nintendo because I think the Wii U is going to flop. But, we'll see. We'll see. Look, the $400 versus the $500. Huge. That's huge for people. That's so huge. That's so huge. And yes, okay, for the argument that Xbox includes their camera accessory in Kinect, the fact that PlayStation doesn't include it just gives people an option of whether, do I really see myself using motion gaming, or am I just a classic kind of controller dude, Like, at least I have the option to spend the $100 on the camera instead of it being forced on me and then me never using it. So, I think Sony did something smart there, too. But, we'll have to see. Look, clearly Microsoft won the early E3 when, 360 PlayStation 3 was coming out, so we can't just give the winner to PlayStation in terms of the generation. But in E3, I do think it's safe to say that with what PlayStation offers you, with their price, with their features, with their games, with what they're ready to do to go online, it's better than an authentication process every 24 hours. I can only play on my friend's game console for an hour, and that means I have to be signed into my account on his Xbox. Being able to trade in my game towards another game is better than, I can only give a game gift to a friend if he's been on my friends list for 30 days or more. That's true. That was confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. Go check that out. Go check out all of Xbox One's game policies, because I think that should be a determining factor for which console you buy this holiday season. And with that last remark, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your summer, boys.